July 23rd, 2012. Look that up, read up on it. That's nobody's hearsay, somebody made it up, it's all real. But we should have bought it that day, y'all. You should have died. All of us should have been gone. And people are probably sitting there, what is he talking about? On July 23rd, we had not one, not two, but three CMEs coming straight at Earth in a line, three of them in a row. The perfect storm. Now, what's the CME? It's a corona mass ejection. Think of it as when you take your hand to your forehead and you wipe the sweat off, then you just sling it off your hands, see all the little beads of sweat? Well, beads of sweat like that come off the sun as it's rotating. But this little bead of sweat is got some umph to it, y'all. This bead is the size and mass of Mount Everest. And it's a ball of plasma. It's coming at Earth. And they generally travel just below light speed. They'll cover 93 million miles in 14 hours or less. Well, these three CMEs come hurling in at us. And they came 93 million miles away. And they were going to hit us dead center. Then we have a word we use in science when we can't explain something. Phenomenon. Something bumped them. Something. I don't know what. And I'm open up to any suggestions because it's a phenomenon. We don't know. But these things just deflected a little bit. But it was enough. But they passed so close when they went by. They were between us and the moon. They were only 110,000 miles away.
That's extremely close when you're talking about these things.
When they come from 93 million miles away and they pass by only 110,000 miles, something bumped these things.
You were given an explanation though recently. Can you talk about that, of what possibly, how we avoided this catastrophe?
In a panel I was on recently for Antarctica, Linda Moulton Howe said she had some whistleblowers that said there was a big ship out there that deflected the things. I wasn't there, so I don't know. But sounds good to me. All I know is something caused these things to deflect right at the last minute. And how serious was this? This story wasn't released until 2 years after the event. It happened in 2012. It wasn't until 2014 that the press even talked about it. But if you do the math, this is really interesting. If those three CMEs hit on July 23rd, 6 months later, probably the last human being would have died on the planet because everything would have been gone. The sun's blotted out. And that last person would have died probably on December 21st, 2012. The Mayans were right. We should have died. Something intervened, something, I don't know what. But that CME event did occur. It's not BS. It really happened, verified by NOAA, NASA, and about a dozen other countries that saw it, was mapping it in. This is a real event.
Do you have any technologies that you're aware of that could have pulled this off?
Not that I'm aware of. And for them to just change course without seeing any flash or any physical, currents out there, no, I don't know what did it. Something happened that caused it to change course. But that day is also interesting because it was so quiet on the news level. Nothing mentioned about any of this. And that's a major...
Who knew about it in this compartmentalized section? Just NOAA?
No, the entire federal government knew. They were having open house at Mount Weatherby. So they were moving in with their families. They're going to close the doors and let us burn. I mean, our government's just the lowest scumbag you could meet. They weren't even going to tell us about it. Why? Because they didn't want you panicking, be on the roads, and they couldn't get to Mount Weatherby.